Welcome to Board Game Archaeologists, where we play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter.
I'm Rob.
And today we're playing Masterpiece.
Masterpiece, the art auction game from Parker Brothers for 3 to 6 players, ages 12 to adult.
The goal of the game is to have the most sum of resources, whether it be in painting or cash.
Yep, and the game comes with a cool board, Rembrandt, and art, and it's just something we've seen for a long time. It also comes with 6 character cards, some money, instructions, a bunch of paintings all the way from Picasso, Pollock, Renoir, bunch of people. And then this side is the cards that say the value to the paintings, plus a bunch of white clips. So when you get a card, you clip it together. We'll get to that in a second. 2 dice and 6 playing pieces.
How you start is every player, and it's a 3 to 6, so you have to have 3 people typically to play.
Yes.
And you get 3 of those pieces of the 6 options. And if you're into the role-playing type of stuff, the cards are there. You can get into it if you want to, but I find the game plenty engaging the way it is. And then you just roll for who goes first, and every player starts with $1.5 million.
Yep.
And a painting.
And a painting, and every time you take a painting, you take a value card with it. You hide it from the other player. You clip it together. You show your painting. You want to know what it is, but you don't want them to know what it is because it could be a forgery.
And essentially the goal of the game is to move around the board, and players can just choose where you start. So long as you pick it before people start moving, it's fine to be there. And we didn't see anything specifically about whether to move clockwise or counterclockwise. So I think so long as everyone knows that it's a certain way and people are consistent, it should be fine.
Or like if you go by the rule, you can go right or left. So you actually have a choice of what you're going to go with. Otherwise, you can be more stringent and say, okay, we're just going to do counterclockwise. You're stuck with whatever you get. The other way, you kind of got options, but I can see that would make the game longer too.
Yeah, and it's a really simple game in the sense that, like, what you land on is what you get. And it's really about just knowing what the spaces do. For example, a really common one is the bank auction, where essentially the painting on top, with its value that was assigned to it, will go up for auction. And essentially, everybody bids on it. Whoever wins it gets it, and the value with it. And it's always a gamble on whether or not the painting is going to be worth a lot or it's going to be worth nothing.
Yep, I think the highest value card is $1 million. And when you do auctions, you can only do $50,000 increments. So you're starting at $50,000.
Starting at 100,000.
100,000.
100,000 is the lowest bid, but it has to go up by increments of 50,000.
Sorry. Yep, that's right. Yeah, so you're really only dealing with 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 or $1 million. You actually have $1 million dollar here.
Yeah, you're playing with large numbers. And a lot of the time it's just about keeping a poker face. A lot of it is just if you receive a forgery, just don't let anyone know, and maybe you'll land on like something like sell any painting you have to the bank for $3,500 or something like that. And like you take what you can get, because that's the ideal time to sell a worthless painting.
Right. You also have private auctions on the board. And private auctions say I land on it. The person on my left, I'm dyslexic, I always have to fight this. The person on your left gets to pick which painting you're going to auction off. And again, that would start off, and then you become the auctioneer. You don't get to bid on your own painting, but you do get paid for it.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where, again, it's like sometimes people can bid on your forgery painting or a lower cost painting, and it can actually come out as a benefit to you. But a lot of the time, you're not going to actually know whether things benefit you or not until the game ends.
Right, until you flip that card over. So when you land on, sell a painting to the bank, if you got a high number, and again, I think the highest number of value in here is $1 million painting, you instantly sell that thing, because once you sell it, the painting's out of play and it can't be brought back in, because when these are done, the game is over and your points go. So if you got a high point thing and the bank allows you to sell it, you instantly sell it. If you got a forgery and you can sell it for $350,000 or $450,000 or $250,000, you sell it right away because you're getting money for a forgery. And it's trying to keep those forgeries close, so hopefully somebody picks it to be bid on and gets it out of your hand. And then you know what it is and you don't want that card again.
Yeah. What were the things that you really liked about this game?
It's tried and true. We played this all of our lives, and my wife's family did too. I think this one actually might have come from the old cabin, the family cabin, but we got a couple copies of it. Um, it's got the Monopoly money. It's got a lot of paintings, and I think as young people, it was fun to start learning who the masters are. You know, just lots of good stuff. So you start to learn about the higher art kind of thing. A thing I really didn't care about for it is the six characters are six characters I simply wouldn't want to be. They don't sound like very cool people, and so I would never play with those characters and just play with what we are. But we have friends that would certainly take that to task and play the characters out properly. Otherwise, again, 1970. I was born in '62. Game has been around me my whole life, and it's easy. It's very easy to play. The instructions are really not even an 8.5 by 11 folded sheet. Um, I wish it would have said it went direction, was a little more clear with its instructions, but otherwise, I think it's super easy. I think it's easy to teach younger people how to play it, younger than 12 for sure, especially in today's world. And I think you can learn something really cool from it.
Yeah, I really love the aesthetic of the game because it really kind of keeps it even with like their money and stuff. A lot of the colors are very like matching in pleasant ways, and I think the aesthetic of the game is very fun. Plus, like I think that the not really knowing what's going on and just kind of like hoping for the best, and it's a very much a luck based thing because sometimes you can just land on things that aren't going to. You can inherit a painting from the bank. You can have
That's a
someone
good
who
one.
just gathers because they land on a certain way.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so again, 12 and younger definitely could probably learn this because a lot of it is just the roll of the dice.
Yeah. Yeah. Love the game.
Yeah, I love it too. Played tried and true, and it's one of those games that like you can always come back to, and in different ways too, if you're into the role playing element.
It would be really cool to see a modernized version with Bernie Wright, Frank Frazetta, Boris Vallejo, all those people that we grew up with in comics and all that stuff. That would be super cool for them to remake one of these or make the comic fantasy version of it. Or, the Bernie Wrightson version of Masterpiece would be awesome.
That would be a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about us, check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Toy Archaeology. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. And when you subscribe, you can put this little bell there that you'll get notifications with our new episodes. We try to be weekly, but life happens.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.